Hi there, and welcome to Darkness Dissected. There is a place in Utah that many believe is cursed, as for years there have been reports of cattle attacks, sinister creatures, crop circles, and strange lights in the sky, earning its nickname from the Navajo folktale of the Skinwalker. Today we're delving into the dark history and events that have taken place at Skinwalker Ranch. Since 1996, this 512-acre plot of land has had reports of unexplainable events taking place. The owners of the ranch at that time, Terry and Gwen Sherman, were desperate for help and answers after claiming they were witnessing strange, horrifying events taking place at their residence. On June 30th, 1996, the Deseret News posted the headline, "Frequent Flyers," with Terry speaking with the paper about their experiences. For a long time we wondered what we were seeing, if it was something to do with a top secret project. I don't know what to think about it. The Shermans reported that over the course of 15 months they'd seen what they believed to be UFOs, and there were three specific types of alien craft. Firstly, there was a craft that was pretty small. Then you had another which they figured to be around 40 feet long. Lastly, there was a UFO that was large enough to fill several football fields. Could it be a mothership maybe? The Shermans did their best to prove what they were seeing by recording two of the sightings. One seemed to emerge from an aerial doorway that looked like an orange orb, and another craft seemed to be scanning a red light over the area. But the UFO experiences were not finished yet. There were also crop circles turning up. One field had 3 8-foot circles in a triangular design, while in another field there were more circles, this time 3 feet wide but a foot or more deep into the dirt. The dirt and ground were perfectly flattened down, and things kept getting stranger. Next, late one night as Gwen was driving home, a light appeared in the sky that seemed to follow her. Now, I think I would have all kinds of thoughts rushing through my head if this happened, like in the movies, you know, where your car splutters and the radio starts losing signal, but then you wake up 3 hours later, sat behind the wheel. No thank you. On another evening, Terry was walking with his dogs out in the fields when he heard a man's voice speaking a language he didn't recognise. Stranger yet, the voice seemed to be coming from about 25 feet above him. Needless to say, while this was going on, the dogs were going crazy, barking and running around. Now this is all very weird, but would you believe it got stranger and from here darker? You see, next up was cattle mutilations, and even these were not what you'd expect, and each time people were greeted with a strong chemical odour. One of the cows had a hole missing in the centre of its left eyeball, almost like it had been cut out surgically. Bizarrely, the rest of the cow's body was unharmed, but somehow it had died. The next cow, and this one creeped me out, had the exact same incision on the eyeball, but also a 6-inch hole had been cut out of the animal's rectum. And if cows were not turning up dead, they were going missing. At one point, 7 cows were either missing or dead at the ranch, and their ranch was not the only one getting the mutilations. Terry said, "When we see the crafts and then the cattle, we have problems. You talk to a lot of people around here that at one point or another have seen something they can't explain. There's been a lot of cattle mutilations, and a lot of them weren't reported. Several ranchers told me that when they had a mutilation, they called the authorities, and the authorities couldn't do anything. So it was just a waste of time and effort." After 18 months of living through their own personal hell, the Shermans packed up and left. 3 months later, the property sold to UFO enthusiast Robert Bigelow, who is a Las Vegas real estate giant, for $200,000. He'd heard about the strange events that had taken place at Skinwalker Ranch and wanted to investigate it with the backing of big money and hiring experts in their fields. And it didn't take long for strange events to take place. And it seems not all of it was UFO based after all. You see, just before leaving the ranch, Terry had had another horrifying experience while out walking. He saw what could only be described as a wolf that stood 3 times the size it should. With the creature in view and fear gripping his bowels, Terry shot at the creature 3 times at close range, but it didn't seem to hurt the animal at all. It just ran off. Well, on the night of March 12, 1997, Colm Kelleher, who is a biochemist, looked up and saw a large humanoid figure perched up high in a tree, watching the group of researchers. Colm said the large creature lay motionless, almost casually, in the tree. The only indication of the beast's presence was the penetrating yellow light of the unblinking eyes as they stared fixedly back into the light. Terrified, Colm shot at the figure, and before it ran away, he managed to see what the creature looked like properly. He said, "It was then that I saw it, a single, obvious oval track about 6 inches in diameter embedded deeply in the snow. It looked unusual. A single large print in the snow with 2 sharp claws protruding from the rear of the mark, going a couple of inches deeper. It almost looked like a bird of prey, maybe a raptor print, but huge, and from the depth of the print, from a very heavy creature." The Bigelow Institute was created to prove one way or another what was going on at the ranch with modern equipment. But ultimately, even though they experienced strange events and garnered proof of their claims, under scrutiny, it wouldn't be considered solid proof that UFOs or cryptids were running amok in the area. In recent years, people who have spent considerable time on the ranch have complained about falling sick with some strange illness. And while people are falling sick, strange events still occur. The head of security for the ranch, who is a total skeptic, said, "I thought it was all a bunch of crap. Then, one night, I'm in one of the bedrooms in the ranch house. I'm lying down, trying to get to sleep, and then all of a sudden, bam! Something slams into my bed. It's like when your kids jump into bed with you or someone big need the bed. I sit up and turn on the lights. Nothing's there." So things were still occurring after the Shermans had left, surely proving that they were not purposefully making things up for profit or publicity. So let's delve into the events that happened to the research crew with UFOs, cryptids, and cattle mutilations. Well, let's start with the cattle attacks. Firstly, a young cow was discovered who it seemed had died suddenly. After the vet examined the poor animal, it was discovered that it had died from a very quick onset of pneumonia, which they believed had been brought on by a severe shock or instant trauma. There were also radiation readings around the animal. So wanting to know more, the group reviewed the surveillance footage, and in the video you can see a black oval-shaped blot in the sky above that is moving, and it wasn't an insect on the lens. Positioned high in the sky, one of the researchers deduced the object was moving at some serious speed too. The footage showed the cow looking upward at the night sky just before it died. Why had the cow not been mutilated like the others found in previous months? Did the UFO, or whatever it can be described as, know of the surveillance? Whatever the reason, the carcass of the animal was left where it dropped, and over the course of a few months, the body of the cow was never scavenged by local animals, and it decayed at a slower rate than expected too. There have also been repeated sightings of skinwalkers. Skinwalkers are said to represent the opposite of the values of the Navajo tribe. Whereas healers and medicine men or women are considered good, the skinwalkers are pure evil. They are described as being like werewolves, evil witches who can transform themselves into the creature of their choosing. They have supernatural abilities like running fast, jumping high, and moving without leaving a trace. They curse people who see them, causing them terrible suffering. But if you see the face of a skinwalker, they will end your life with a mixture nicknamed corpse powder, which is blown into your face. This powder turns your tongue black, followed by convulsions until you die. The only way to survive will be to kill the creature first, and legend states that skinwalkers are mortal, so can be killed with a bullet or knife rubbed in white ash. But others wonder why, if the ranch is 400 miles north of Navajo Nation, did the legend turn up at the ranch? There have also been more lights witnessed in the night sky, and other places too. There is a 420-acre man-made reservoir next to the ranch, which was filled in with fresh water in 1970 by the federal government mandate. Well, in 1998, a police officer witnessed a large light plummet into the reservoir and then resurface, flying off into the sky. Then again, in 2002, a group of 4 young men standing by the reservoir saw a blue-white light enter the water, re-emerging seconds later. One witness said after performing a brief wreathing aerial dance, the belt of the light zipped away at a high rate of speed, hugging the ground before disappearing below the top of Skinwalker Ridge. The reservoir had been built on Ute land, a rival tribe to the Navajo. Apparently the Ute had a legend that springs and certain waterways carry negative energy, and that there are spirits or evil sprites that will rise up from the waters to drag you down into its depths. So, is it something from the legend that lingers in the waters? Or could it be an alien craft that lies down there that other ships come to visit? Wow. What are your thoughts on this location? Do you feel that the place is really cursed with UFOs and cryptids? The cattle mutilations seem to be real, as you have the video evidence as well as the attacks happening on other properties, and honestly, you'd have to be seriously messed up to do that to a cow for publicity. Surely if the other properties are experiencing the mutilations also, then they must be witnessing the other phenomena of cryptids and lights, especially the lights. Have you witnessed anything strange, whether that be strange lights or cryptids? I'd love to hear about your experiences with the unexplainable. Please let me know in the comments below. As always, my friends, I hope this video reaches you well, and until next time, stay safe out there.